Okay, in this video we're going to look at something called capacity, and as it says here, capacity is the volume of a fluid or a gas. So fluid, think for our purpose water, or gas that an object can hold. So some common units we use are litre, which corresponds to 1,000 milliliters. We also use 1 kiloliter, which corresponds to 1,000 liters, and 1 megaliter, which guess what? Is 1,000 kiloliters. So a good way to remember this is this sort of thing here, where it shows if I want to represent my megaliters as kiloliters, I'm going to multiply by 1,000, then kiloliters going to a liter. So if I've got 1 kiloliter, I'm going to go 1 multiplied by 1,000, and it'll show me 1,000 liters. The same to go from liters to milliliters. Okay. And the same deal if we're going back. If I'm going to go, I've got 1 mil and I want to represent it as a litre, I will divide by 1,000, go from litres to kiloliters, divide by 1,000, etc., etc. All right. So how do we relate volume and capacity? So in previous things we've talked about centimeters cubed as our volume. 1 centimeter cubed equals 1 mil. 1 meter cubed equals 1,000 litres, which corresponds to 1 kiloliter, which we actually know from this part here. Okay, so if you're looking at a 1 litre carton of milk, that corresponds to 1,000 milliliters, but also 1,000 centimeters cubed. So let's look at some examples here of converting units for capacity. So for example, this first one, we've got 500 milliliters going into a litre. So if I look at my little diagram on the side, I want to go from milliliters to liters. So what I'm going to do there is my capacity, let's call it capacity, is going to be 500 divided by 1,000, because I've got 500 milliliters and I'm dividing it by 1,000 to convert into liters. And basically what I would have there is my answer is 0.5 liters. Now, the other option is I'm going from milliliters to liters, sorry, I keep saying milliliters, it's megaliters to liters. So I'm going from megaliters up here, and I want to convert it to liters. So I'm going to have to so my capacity here is going to be 3 times 1,000. That gives me kiloliters, but then I'm going to multiply it by 1,000 again, so that I can convert that to liters. So it's going to be 3 million liters. Okay. And my next example, converting centimeters cubed to liters. So in this case here, I'm going to say my volume equals 20 times 10 times 10, because that happens to be 10 as well. Okay, so that's going to be 20 times 10 is 200, times that by 10 is 2,000. Oops, one extra zero there. So that's going to be 2,000 centimeters cubed. But if we remember, I can convert that to capacity is equal to 2,000 milliliters. Because remember, 1 centimeter cubed equals 1 mil. And if I know 2,000 milliliters, I'm going to go from milliliters to liters. I divide by 2, so that's going to equal 2 liters.